welcome to my next video on learning the Woovebox. You can hear some music in the background. This is the stuff that I started yesterday. I went offline and played around with it a bit, got it sort of a little spookier, a little creepier, more in line with the kind of music that I'm making. But I haven't had an awful lot of time to really learn today. I just wanted to try to understand a couple things. In yesterday's video, Evo chimed in and was pointing out some pretty big misunderstandings that I was having. One of them was about key presses that do one thing in one context and something different in a different context. So let me just show you what I was doing wrong there. And this was an actual doing something wrong mistake. So when you're in song mode and you press play and choose a number, it chooses a different song. Song 1, Song 2, Song 3. I'm working in Song 3 right now. And then once you go inside of one of the tracks, now you're inside of Song 3. This 01, I had misunderstood. I thought that was telling me that I was in Song 1 now, and I thought that something was going wrong. So I would get into here, and the next thing I would do is click play and go to 3, so I would be in Song 3. That's not what that is. That number 01, once you're inside of Song 3, 01 is your pattern number. So there are songs inside of the song. There are tracks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, also known as chord, bass, lead, arpeggio, kick, snare, hi-hat, percussion, and then 8 more that you can define yourself. And even most of these, except for the chord track, the others, you can go in and change the behavior and make all of them act like any of the others. But those are predefined, and you hold down, when you're in song mode, you hold down play to go to a different song. When you're inside of a song, you hold down this button to go to a different track. The chord track, the lead track are the only two that I have in this song. So that was a misunderstanding that I was having. I'm glad to have some clarity on that, so that maybe things will happen a little more sensibly for me. Since I didn't understand that holding play and pressing a button would do different things in different contexts, it was very confusing to me where my sequences were going. So that's great to know. So now I'll just demo a little of what I've been doing. I've been mostly today, after learning that little bit, I've just been messing around with these sounds, and the way I compose my music is that I play around with some sounds, and then I go to a different track and I make some different sounds, some different patterns, come up with a different piece of the atmosphere. And I'll do that. I'll create, 5 or 6 different tracks of different pieces of the atmosphere. Then I'll compose the song itself. That's how I work in a standard DAW. That's how I work when I'm composing my music. So first I make the different aspects of the sound, then I fade them in and out, usually live or using LFOs and things inside of a standard DAW. Working inside of the Groovebox or the Woovebox, I'm learning new ways of doing this stuff, and that's going to be fun when I get there. But the first thing I had to learn is where to put things and how to store stuff. So I'll hit play and play what it is that I have so far. Actually, I want to demo some of the stuff that I did in the chord track. So I just soloed the chord tracks, and now we can hear only that low, growly, sort of ominous atmospheric background stuff. And it's easier to hear some of the things that I want you to hear if I take it. User 2 is the waveform that I'm using for this sound. But if I go to just a standard sine wave, just a single sine wave, you can hear a little more clearly what's happening with the stuff I want to show you. So the two things I've got going on here, I've got 2 LFOs modifying this. One is the filter LFO. I'm going to turn this audio down so it's not overbearing. filter LFO, I've got a band pass filter with a cutoff frequency of 20. And that's the center of my sine wave for my frequency. And then in here, I've got it set to a depth of 90. And what that's doing is that's moving my filter just a little bit back and forth to sort of highlight the peaks and the troughs of the sound. The main filter here is in the pitch menu on this track. The pitch filter. I'm going to change this rate down to so you can, changing that rate, you can now hear it stepping up and down through the chords. So that's one of the things I'm doing. I've got it moving about 1 octave up and down in pitch, and by cranking this way up, it moves up and down very slowly. So I've got my sequence. And the sequence is stepping through some notes: A, C, E, and G, and then back down. But then I've also got that pitch envelope messing with the pitch. Once it's played, it sort of steps in the middle of the sample and moves it up and down for me. One of the other things that I'm trying to learn is in the, I think it's in the oscillator menu. No, where was it? Is it the amplitude menu? Ha ha ha. It's legato. Where is the legato? Maybe that's in the filter. Nope, it's not. Maybe it's under global. No. It's funny, I've been messing with it, but I don't remember where it was. I'm not messing around in pan. It's got to be here. There it is. Yeah, legato probability 100%, legato speed 16. So if I turn the speed down, hear it when it changes notes. It sometimes sort of drags between them. And this is something, again, I'm still learning. I'm not very clear on how this works, what it does. But I like the effect that I have been getting by doing that. Yeah, hear it moving right there? That's the result of the legato, I'm pretty sure. So go back in and make sure that pitch is up. Go back into my oscillator and put my sample back on there. All right, so now you can hear the different parts of it. You can hear it changing pitch. You can hear it kind of gliding between the pitches sometimes. And always staying in our minor key and keeping it creepy. I'm going to unsolo this track. The other track that I've been working on is it's based on one of the standard patches, and I haven't moved it very much. When I have more time to play with it, I want this to sound more like a music box. I find that music boxes are a very creepy sound in any soundtrack. And so some of the things that I'm doing in here to get this creepiness is similar stuff. I'm messing with the legato and the other stuff. And on a couple of the notes, this one is one of them, I talked about some of the conditional stuff that you can do. So 50% probability is when this thing will happen. And there's a huge list. If you go look at the manual, there's a list of things that you can do. Probably 40 or 50 different actions. This one is to play 4 notes instead of 1. And when it's playing those 4 notes, to continue going up through the chord progression. So it goes up and plays 4 notes in the same time it would ordinarily play 1. I have that set here, and I have that set here. So let's see if it plays this time. Nope. Let's start over again so you can watch it. Let's see. Yeah, did you hear that? That little gliding up through those 4 notes. Yeah, those are just some little bits of flair that make this thing interesting as it goes on. Anyhow, so now I'm just basically rambling. I'm gonna keep messing around. And at this point, I feel like I've kind of learned enough that I can just get to sound design. I can get to playing with sounds. I can get to making interesting sequences. I know where to store them. I can store multiple patterns within a track. And then when I get around to arranging the song, I can go in and figure out when to trigger those separate patterns and how to fade them in and fade them up and create a whole experience of it. But for the next little while, my focus is really going to be on playing with the sound design aspects of this device now that I've kind of gotten a handle on the basic stuff. All right, thanks for checking in for a little bit of a longer video. Yeah, learning this thing is going really well. Have a good night.